Okay, by now I'm sure you've probably figured out that the old inroads tracking is now called Analyze Point. You can get to it a number of ways. It's here, um, and I can track along my alignment. Another quick way to get to that is by actually hitting the F11 key. So if I just go, you can see I don't have anything there. If I hit F11, it then activates that Analyze Point tool. What it also does, it turned on my Civil AccuDraw. You can see it. I've got it docked down here. But Civil AccuDraw is a very powerful tool that you can use in your drafting and design workflows to help you get the job done a little bit quicker. So you can see down here right now I've got Civil AccuDraw turned off. I can toggle it on. It shows up as a darker blue square. So I'm only gonna cover a handful of the tools within Civil AccuDraw here, just because we don't have a whole lot of time. But the first one, you'll notice that the tools when you're working in a plan view versus when you're working in a dynamic profile view actually change. So you have different tools available depending on where you're working. So in plan view, the most powerful one that I've come across and most useful one in day-to-day work is the station and offset. So, and that does exactly what it says it does. So down here, station offset, what I can do is say if I'm laying out my right-of-way, I can come in here and say I want this to be at this particular station and this particular offset, and just go through and put those right-of-way breaks in there. Okay. If I wanted to come off of, say, this approach, you can see right now I'm kind of going along my main line. If I just hit the O key, that should pull up a prompt that says, hey, select your reference. The good thing here is it didn't, so I get to show you another trick. So if you have this happen where it doesn't prompt you for that reference, just hit the tab, put the O in the next box. There you go. There's my reference. And now you can see I'm tracking along there. I've locked my station, but I can punch in whatever I need there. Okay. The other thing is if you're in a drawing model and you try to do that analyze point, you get this message saying you can't do that in the drawing model. A way around that, toggle on your Civil AccuDraw and come in here and let's set our reference element by hitting O. And that wasn't the right one, but I can select it again, and there you can see I've got my station and offset in my drawing model. So if you need to do something in the drawing model, this is a way you can do those station and offset commands as well. So now back in the profile view, you can see with this dynamic profile active, you can see these tools have changed. So now I'm going to cover the elevation, which is really kind of station and elevation, and then slope, which is really station and slope to help lay out these profiles. So the first one that I'm going to show is the slope. What I like to use this for, I like to keep my vertical PIs at even stations, and I like to keep my grades at even slopes to the extent possible. So with this Civil AccuDraw, what I can do is I can key in my station and what I want my slope to be, and OpenRoads will draw that for me. So the other option that I was going to show you is the station elevation. So say I wanted to control, say, a top of a sound wall to a specific elevation. So maybe I've got something that I'm needing to put in here for these residences here. So I can come in here and say I need my sound wall to start at 113.40, and the elevation, that's going to be 465 at the top. And it'll need to go over to 124.25 at 465. So there I've just placed 0% slope, so it's at 465 on one end, and the other, whatever you need to do station and slope or station and elevation in your profile, those are some pretty powerful tools. So I hope that you found these helpful, and hope that you'll dig into Civil AccuDraw a lot more, because it can really help speed up your production.